And my students, welcome to BANI NETSHALA. Today I'm going to talk about the most important aspects of your life. You all know that today I'm going to talk about the restoration period. Okay, today I'm going to discuss with you the most important topics: restoration committee of manners or restoration period. And you know that these actually are very frequently asked questions. Today, whatever I will discuss with you, it actually I have taken from previous year questions. I examined and I observed the questions very keenly, and then I have understood that this actually will be very important, and this is very important for yourself. So try to understand what I am actually speaking, what I am going to discuss with you, what I'm going to discuss with you, the most important aspects for your upcoming UGC NET June 2025 exam. Okay, so I know that this is very limited time you have. Okay, so and it is a very crucial time, and within these crucial time and these limited time, you have to cover each and everything. Okay, so I have also used my own notes, and today I'm going to discuss with some very important aspects whatever actually I will take actually from my notebooks. Okay, so this was very important thing. So now today my first questions. I know that it is a live class, so in this class I actually gonna to discuss with you the restoration committee or the restoration period. We all know the timeline. Okay, 1660 to 1702. Okay, so this is called as restoration period. Okay, তোমরা সবাই জানো 1607 থেকে 1702 খ্রিস্টাব্দ অবধি এটি restoration period নামে পরিচিত. So my first question is, why the period is called as restoration period? And it is very simple. You all know that the period is called as restoration because of the restoration of monarchy as well as restoration of theatre. So this is the very important question, and because you know that assertion and reasoning type of question will come in your exam, so you have to be prepared in this way and try to understand what actually happens with you. So this kind of frequently asked questions I'm just gonna to discuss with you. Okay, so first questions, why the restoration period is called as restoration period, and I think you all know the answer. I will give you some times, and within these 10 or 20 seconds you have to answer me. Okay, so restoration period, why it is called as restoration period, you all know that. Simply, the restoration period is called as restoration because of the restoration of theatre as well as the restoration of monarch. And the timeline is very important. When you're going to take this kind of preparation for your upcoming UGC NET 2025 exam, you should keep in your mind, you have to understand, তোমাকে বুঝতে হবে যে আমি কোন কোন বিষয়গুলো নিয়ে পড়ছি, ঠিক আছে? ফার্স্ট তোমাকে রেস্টোরেশন, যখনই রেস্টোরেশন পিরিয়ড আমরা আলোচনা করছি, সো এই জায়গাটাকে একটু খেয়াল রাখতে হবে যে রেস্টোরেশন পিরিয়ডে তার যে টাইমিংটা রয়েছে 1660 থেকে 1702 অবধি, ঠিক আছে? এই পিরিয়ডের বিখ্যাত যে রাইটারগুলো আছে তাদের নিয়ে নাও আই এম গোইং টু ডিসকাস উইথ দ্য মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট রাইটার্স। অ্যান্ড যেমনটা আমি তোমাদের বললাম, আমি আমার নোটবুকসটাকে ইউজ করব, কারণ এখান থেকে আমি চাই না যে তোমরা একটাও প্রশ্ন মিস করো, বিকজ ইচ অ্যান্ড এভরি কোয়েশ্চেন্স আর ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট অ্যান্ড উইল বি ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। ওকে, সো জাস্ট ইউ শুড কিপ ইন ইউর মাইন্ড। সো জন ড্রাইডেন, আই এম টকিং অ্যাবাউট John Dryden. So yes, if you have any question you can ask me, no problem. Just my first question, whichever I'm now talking. First question, restoration period is called as restoration period because of restoration of theatre and restoration of monarch. My second question is Dryden. Now I am talking about Dryden. So যখন আমরা ড্রাইডেন নিয়ে আলোচনা করছি, ড্রাইডেনের কোন কোন লেখাগুলোকে, কোন কোন কন্ট্রিবিউশনসগুলোকে we have to read. This is very important. Okay. So next, when I'm talking about John Dryden, you should keep in your mind one thing you should keep in your mind. John Dryden's most successful essay in the Restoration Comedy of Manners is what? Or what is the most important or most successful essay in the Restoration Comedy of Manners? Tell me the answer. Actually, I wanted to discuss with you Aura Arjun. Actually, I'm going to discuss with you each and everything in English because it will help you to crack your upcoming UGC NET June 2025 exam. Because you all know that the question will be set up in English, so it will help you. Okay, so what actually is the Dryden's most successful essay in the Restoration Comedy of Manners is again I say the answer is very simple. It is mm, just you write the answer. It is Marriage a la Mode. This is very important thing. Next, first produced in 1672. When it was published, Marriage a la Mode. Okay, when, or it's a mode you can say. Okay, when it was published, the publication year is very important. When we are talking about the publication year, because publication year টা তোমাদেরকে জানতেই হচ্ছে, so publication year 1678. Okay, so 1678 publication year, just you should keep in your mind. My next question, I am talking from there. Actually, what happens here in this essay, he actually talks about that A's fiance is closely associated with A's wife, B's mistress, and B's fiance, A's mistress. So this kind of a story you can find out here. So now another thing, whatever I'm going to discuss with, or I'm going to discuss with, this is the way of the world. As I'm talking about William Congreve, you all know that William Congreve is the most important writer when we are talking about, when we are going to discuss with Restoration Comedy of Manners. So William Congreve. So Congreve's the most important, the Old Bachelor. Just you write down the Old Bachelor, and it is written in 1693. Old Bachelor 1693. Very important. Congreve, the Old Bachelor, Love for Love 1695, and then finally The Way of the World 1697. Again I say The Way of the World 1697. Okay, so you should keep in your mind the Old Bachelor 1693, the Love for Love 1695, The Way of the World 1697. So this is the most important thing you should keep in your mind. Apart from these or that, you have to go for Restoration other writers. Jeremy Collier, A Short View of the Immortality and Profaneness of the English Stage. It is very important. You should keep in your mind. Apart from these or that, you have to understand John Vandra, Polly Saver. Those writers are very important writers for your upcoming Restoration Comedy of Manners. As I'm talking about, দেখো যে বিষয়গুলো আমি আলোচনা করছি, এই বিষয়গুলো প্রত্যেকটা বিষয় কিন্তু ভীষণই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। রেস্টোরেশন কমেডি অফ ম্যানার্সের ক্ষেত্রে আমি যে সমস্ত রাইটারদেরকে বলছি বা যে সমস্ত রাইটারদের নিয়ে আলোচনা করছি, বেসিক্যালি ইউ ক্যান ফাইন্ড আউট সাম রাইটার্স। ওকে, আই উইল অ্যাকচুয়ালি টক, I'm gonna with you, I will discuss with you some very basic important things you should keep in your mind, because it is really very very important thing you should keep in your mind. যে বিষয়টা আমি তোমাদের সাথে আলোচনা করতে যাচ্ছি সেটা হলো রেস্টোরেশন। যখন রেস্টোরেশন কমেডি অফ ম্যানার্সের কথা আমরা বলছি, সেক্ষেত্রে আমরা কাদের নাম মনে রাখবো? উইলিয়াম ওয়াইচার্লে, উইলিয়াম কংগ্রেভ, জন ড্রাইডেন। Those writers are very very important. Dryden, William Whitehead, Congreve, Collis Seaver. Okay, so next, the most important thing, Vandra's The Relapse. The Relapse. Who wrote The Relapse? Vandra. Most important thing you should keep in your mind. Next, Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb. Okay, who wrote Aurangzeb? Very important. You know that. John Dryden. John Dryden wrote Aurangzeb. Okay. On the other hand, you have to understand some important thing. Okay, today I am actually taking some very important aspects. সো যেমনটা আমরা বলছি যে আমরা যখন রেস্টোরেশন পিরিয়ড নিয়ে আলোচনা করছি সেক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু কংগ্রেভের দ্য ওল্ড ব্যাচেলার, লাভ ফর লাভ, দ্য ওয়ে অফ দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ড, দোজ আর ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট থিং। এগুলো ছাড়াও যখন আমরা জেরেমি কলিয়ারকে পড়ছি, জেরেমি কলিয়ারের মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট রাইটিংস তোমরা মাথায় রেখো। শর্ট ভিউ অফ দ্য ইমর্টালিটি অ্যান্ড প্রোপেননেস অফ ইংলিশ স্টেজ, ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট থিং, ইউ শুড কিপ ইন ইউর মাইন্ড। John Vander's The Relapse, also important. The Conquest of Granada. Who wrote The Conquest of Granada? You all know that.